body strength with dumbbells class. I designed this class with beginners and advanced seniors in mind, but if you are not a beginner nor a senior, do not leave. You can make this workout work for you. You just need to use heavier weights and maybe move a little bit quicker. We have 5 circuits. The first 3 circuits are standing and the last 2 circuits are down on the ground. The first 3 circuits use the dumbbells and the last 2 circuits do not use dumbbells. Make sure that you have your dumbbells somewhere that you can pick them up easily. I suggest having a chair or a table or something close by so that you don't have to get up and down if you put the dumbbells down between sets. If you like to play music in your classes, please go ahead and get your music started now and join me. We're going to go through a quick warm-up. We're going to start with a march in place, and then we're going to bring opposite arm on top each rep. So warming up the hip flexors, which are the muscles that help to lift our leg, warming up our glutes, warming up our chest. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to come to some step jacks. So we're going to step out, step center, step out, step center. Big circles with the arms, elevates the heart rate, also works on range of motion in the shoulders. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to come into some knee pull downs. So twist your chest towards one knee, pull your hands down around that knee. Using our low abs, which are turned on, pull the belly button back in and up, knit the front ribs together and down. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to the center of your mat. We're going to take a big step to the right, step the left toes behind, big step to the left, right toes behind. And then let's do some sprinter arms with that. So, opposite elbow, opposite knee. It's a big step, as big as you can muster, working our abductor muscles. Those are the inner thigh muscles that move our legs away from the center of our body. Here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to come into some butt kicks with some rows. So palms are down, shoulder blades are pulling together, chest is open, which means your collarbones are spread nice and wide, like there's an imaginary string lifting your chest up to the ceiling. This strengthens hamstrings, which are the big muscles in the back of the upper legs, and it begins to stretch and warm the quadriceps, the big muscles in the fronts of the upper legs. 3, 2, 1, and now we're just going to come into some good mornings. Feet hip-width distance apart. Hinge your hips, so think of pressing your hips back. Trace your fingertips down just below your knees. Squeeze your butt, press through your feet. Come up to stand. Hinge, think about lifting the back of your butt up towards the spot where the wall and the ceiling meet behind you. And then squeeze your butt, come up to stand. So we're warming up our hamstrings, working into our back, strengthening a little bit. Let's do 2 more. And I don't want you to touch your toes because your shoulders might fall in towards one another. We want to keep our chest open. So shoulder blades hugging that imaginary blueberry between them. And 1. All right, grab your dumbbells, take a sip of water if you need, and I'm going to get us going on our first circuit. You might have noticed that I'm super sweaty today. I'll tell you why in just a minute. So our first move is going to be a W. So you're going to pin your elbows together, bring the dumbbells together, and then pull them apart, or pin your elbows into your side body. All right, let's get going. So elbows into the side body. Press the dumbbells together, pull them apart. Press together, pull them apart. So strengthening into some of the supporting muscles of our shoulder. Of course, our core is turned on. So the reason I'm sweaty is I've been trying to get a bunch of classes filmed today. The big ugly C has hit our house, and while I do not have it yet, I am the caregiver. All right, next move is that hinge, just like we did. Our thumbs are going to be on top of the dumbbells, and then the heads of the dumbbells are going to come together, and we're going to open them apart. So, shoulder blades down, away from your ears, butt pressing back, chest lengthening forward, and then tune into your inner thighs. Imagine you're squeezing a pillow or something between them. Keep them turned on. All right, those were our 2 moves. We're back to those W's. So I'm a little frantic today trying to get things done. Shoulders down and back in their sockets, tailbone drawing down, squeeze your butt, tuck it under. Exhale as you open, and inhale as you close. And then everything in the front body is knitted in and pulling up from the pelvic floor and down from the low ribs. All right, back to those bent over reverse flies. So again, thumbs are on the top of the dumbbells. It's at a bit of an angle, and you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then, is your butt lazy, or is it working? It needs to be squeezed in order to support you here, especially your low back. If you don't squeeze your butt, then you dump into your low back. If your core isn't turned on, you dump into your low back. All right, one more time through those 2. Elbows into the side. Shoulders down and back, away from your ears. Bring your butt with you. Don't leave it sticking out behind you. Not time for an Instagram, but plenty of time in your day to put that perky butt on display right now. It needs to be hugged in, squeezed and ugly. It's keeping the rest of us safe, keeping the rest of our entire body safe. All right, hinge at the hips. So you can even bring your fingertips to those hip creases, butt back, tuck your tailbone under. Reverse fly. Also strengthening the little supporting muscles of our shoulders. Keeping our shoulders safe. All right. That was the first set. We have a little break. You can set the dumbbells down if you'd like. Actually, you're going to set one dumbbell down. We're only going to use one for our next 2 circuits. And we're going to start with a plie, heels in, toes out, bus driver. So you press the dumbbell out and pull it back in. If you need longer, you're going to pause. If not, we're on at the bell. So plie, press into the pinky edge of each foot to keep those knees from caving in. And then depending on how advanced or what your range of motion is, you might go a little bit lower in that plie, or you might stay a little bit higher. Squeeze your butt, especially the outer glutes and your inner thighs, to come up. Okay, so now we're going to come down to one end of the mat. If you've worked out with me before, you've done this. We're gonna come into a squat, tuck your tailbone under, bring it with you, bring your butt with you, and then take 2 steps to the left, and then 2 steps back to the right while you press that dumbbell. But the entire time that I'm pressing, I'm thinking about keeping those shoulder blades hugging in towards one another so that my chest stays broad and proud and open. Okay, back to the plie with the bus driver. Shoulders down and back, dumbbell at the hips. Plie, front raise, twist, lower, and come up to stand. Plie, press into the pinky edge of your foot, open your knees out wide. Not a time for modesty, those knees don't need to be caving in. And then think about your back being straight and tall as if it were up against a wall. So think ballerina, nice, tall, good posture. So back to that squat walk with a front press. And if you can't get into the squat, you're going to take side steps with a front press. Proud chest, tuck your butt under, bring it with you. Okay, one more round through those 2 exercises. And remember, if you need more of a break, you can press pause at any time. Plie, shoulders down and back, chest broad and proud, knees open, crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling, tailbone towards the mat or your floor below you. And if the dumbbell gets too heavy at any time, you can always put it down and do these without the dumbbell. Okay, last round of those lateral squat walks. So come down into that squat, squeeze your butt, keep it squeezed the entire time. Don't look down at the ground, there's nothing down there that's going to help you. Everything that you need is right here, inside of you, and out in front of you. Okay, so we're going to use one dumbbell again for the next circuit. I'm going to grab a little sip of water. Please do the same. And then we're going to come into a wide stance. I'm going to take the dumbbell into my right hand. I'm going to bend my left knee, and then I'm going to pull the dumbbell across up to my right shoulder. So think about pulling a lawnmower string, and then this left butt cheek is aiming for a little chair or stool that's way back behind you. All 10 toes face forward, and you're only going to bend into that knee as much as you can. Guess what we're doing now? Other side. So we're going to bend into the right knee. That dumbbell is in the left hand, reaching for the right toes, and then I'm going to pull it across. Like I'm pulling the cord on a lawnmower. So this move works what's called our transverse plane of movement as we cross the midline of the body with that arm. We're also getting some inner thigh work and some booty work. So we're going to do that 2 more times through. And if you find that your feet are too wide or you need to make them wider, please make those adjustments. The beauty of being a human and not a tree is that if you don't feel right, you can change things at any time in your workouts and in your life. So remember that right leg is staying straight and it's the left knee that's bending and the left butt cheek squeezing. All right. Right knee is going to bend this time. Dumbbell is in the left hand. So it's a hinge back and a squat on that right side. That butt cheek is drawing back like in a hinge movement, but it's also sort of a squat. Your core is turned on or else your low back is not going to be happy. And maybe your dumbbell only comes down to knee height. Okay, one more round each side, I believe. Yes. And then we're going to put these dumbbells down and we're carefully going to come down onto the floor. Okay, left knee bends, dumbbell is in the right hand, pulling across. Your chest is facing forward the entire time. I'm not sloppy dumping down. Nothing sloppy here, okay? Keep it high and tight. So we want these workouts to help us with our posture as well as with strength, balance, functional movement, meaning movement patterns that we're going to find in real life. And yes, you might find this kind of movement in real life. If you drop something, this is the kind of movement we make with our upper body when we buckle and unbuckle a seatbelt. We do a lot of rotation in life. Life isn't just forward and back, it's side to side, twisting. Okay, so we're carefully going to come down onto our back. Here's what I'm going to suggest. You're going to find a chair, you're going to put a hand on it, and then you're going to come down to kneeling. And then from that kneeling position, you're going to come down onto one side, and you're going to come down onto your back. Our first move is called a dead bug tabletop hold. So exhale, bring your fingertips to your low belly. Notice how turned on those abs become as you exhale. Keep that engagement, and then you're going to tabletop your knees, meaning they're parallel to the floor, and you're going to press your palms into your knees and your knees back into your palms. If you had a pillow, you could squeeze that between your knees. That would turn your core on even more, and you should be shaking. Okay, carefully bring the feet to the mat. So knees are about hip-width distance apart. We're going to come up into a bridge. Bring your arms down by your side. Exhale, squeeze your butt, press into your feet, and only come up to where you can with your butt squeezed. So the problem I see with bridges a lot is that everybody wants to fling their hips up to the ceiling, and that is the worst thing we can do for our low back. So again, if you had a pillow to squeeze between your knees or inner thighs, that would be fantastic. And the harder you can press the soles of your feet into the mat, the tighter your glutes become, and they keep you from overarching your hips. Okay, back into that tabletop hold. Low back is pressing into the mat. I want you to imagine that you're pulling your belly button back to your spine, and that's like a little thumbtack that's gluing your back to the mat. And then your knees are driving into your hands, and your hands are trying to press your knees away, but neither knees nor hands are moving. You're just shaking. You're turning that core on. Continue to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Keep your core engaged, but don't hold your breath. Okay, back to those bridges. So my heels are in close to my buns. Imagining or actually squeezing a pillow. Squeeze your butt. Exhale, press into your feet. Lift your hips up. And then slowly roll down, starting at your shoulders all the way to your tailbone. Exhale, squeeze your butt. Lift your hips. Inhale, keep your butt squeezed. Slowly roll down. These are so good for us. They build so much strength in our back, our posterior chain, which is the back muscle, the muscles in the back of our body, like our hamstrings, our butt. And then they also work our quads and our core. Okay, tabletop the knees. Press palms into knees, knees into palms. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears and get fired up in your core. So shaky. Okay, last round of bridges. So fingertips are reaching towards your heels. Shoulders are down and back away from your ears. Exhale, squeeze your butt. Press into all four corners of your feet. What does that mean? The big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and then the inner and the outer heel. Don't let those knees splay open. We want them magnetized in towards one another. Okay, carefully roll onto your right or your left side. And then we're going to use that top palm to press ourselves up. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees for the last circuit. So tabletop position, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And the first round, we're just going to kick the right heel up towards the ceiling. So warming up the glute on that right side, working it even more. Belly button is pulled back towards your spine. Tailbone is tucked under, no goosing today. And then I want you looking beyond your fingertips to keep your head and neck in line with your shoulders. Okay, we're going to do that with the left side now. So pull your belly button in and up and press that left heel up towards the ceiling like you have a tray on that left foot that you're trying to serve to someone. So the toes are flexed back towards the knee. And then squeeze the butt. Okay, now we're going to focus on our arms. So we're going to keep our legs where they are. And this time, we're going to extend our right arm out like we're going to shake someone's hand. And then we're going to inhale, touch the fingertips to the mat. And exhale, lift the thumb shoulder height. Inhale with control, lower. Remember, your belly button is turned, pulled back towards your spine. Your front core is turned on. Keep that shoulder pulling back. Okay, if you need to come back onto your heels for a minute to give your arms a break, you can do that. And then we're going to come back up, shoulders over wrists, and then left arm lift like you're going to shake someone's hand and lower. And so for our last two rounds of this circuit, we're going to put these moves together. Okay, so what that is going to look like is we're going to extend our right arm and our left leg, Pull your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale, tap, and exhale, lift. Inhale, tap, fingertips and toes. Exhale, lift. Now remember, as we exhale, we're digging deeper into our core muscles to stabilize us. If this is too much with the hand and the foot, you can put the hand down and just lift the leg. This is so good for the supporter muscles that run along our spine. Okay, you can come back onto your knees, do a little twist with your wrists, and then come back into that tabletop, and then left fingertips and toes touch the mat and lift. And it's my butt that's squeezing, not my low back, to lift that right leg. So anytime you can do these types of exercises, you should do them. Okay, and that concludes our workout. So now we need to get up carefully from the ground if you have a hard time getting up and down. So what I'm going to suggest is you crawl back over to that chair that's well anchored. Okay, nothing that's going to slide around. And you're going to put one hand on that chair and you're going to step the foot up. And then you're going to bring the other hand onto it. And then you're going to come up to stand very carefully. Thank you for working out with me. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you drink some water. Maybe go for a little walk, stretch out your body, and then meet me back here tomorrow or the next day for another workout. If you're looking for more workouts like this one, I've linked them in these cards right here. All you have to do is click on them and it will take you to an entire playlist of this same type of workout. I will see you soon, friends. Bye.